Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationships, and it's by user DeathStare88. My 23 male asexual girlfriend, 22 female of 2 years, has ceased all forms of physical contact since I told her I'm okay with her sexuality. She also lied to me. Should I break up? I posted on this thread earlier, but I forgot the password for the throwaway account, so here is another account. Here's a gist of the previous post. Girlfriend, 22 female of 2 years, tells me, 23 male, she is asexual when we moved in together. She said she'd still continue to satisfy me sexually and that she loves me as a person and not my body. I felt insecure initially as I felt I am unattractive, but the general consensus of close friends and the commenters were to go forward with the relationship because she was willing to compromise, which I did. Anyhow, things have changed a lot since then. I researched and tried to learn more about asexuality and tried my best to make myself comfortable with it. But lately, she has been rebuffing all forms of physical contact such as hugs, holding hands, and pretty much anything. I thought she was doing this because she needed space and I did not try to initiate any physical contact. The last time we had sex was 2 months ago, and her go-to dialogue is that God gave you hands so you can help yourself if I try to initiate. For context, I have a low libido and only feel randy around once every 10 to 15 days. We sleep on the same bed, but I'm not allowed to touch her. She just takes my hand away or makes some distance between us if I get close. But the rest of the relationship is pretty sound, and I love her and I like to think that she does too. I tried to hold her hand when we went for a walk yesterday, and she was visibly disgusted. I immediately withdrew my hand and haven't really talked to her since. I am really hurt, and it has incredibly affected my self-esteem. I slept in the hall last night and woke up to a text from her best friend, 22 female, friends since they were 7 years old, who basically cussed at me for not accepting her for who she was and not respecting her. I tried to make her see my side of the equation, but she refused to listen, so I just agreed with her. On some further discussion, I learned that she has been aware of her asexuality ever since she was 15. This is where the betrayal comes in. She told me that she only discovered her asexuality recently. She had been lying about herself all along, at first about being attracted to me and then about her sexuality. I feel like I've been duped and that she betrayed me. If she would have told me about her sexuality beforehand, I would have considered it and come to terms with it, or maybe not continued it, sparing us a lot of heartaches. Also, she has not delivered on the promise of keeping me sexually satisfied. I am really considering making her move out. I own the place, and breaking up with her. But before doing it, is what I feel justified? Am I right to feel this way? If not, what should I do? Also, is this relationship salvageable? Is anything worth saving? Well, OP, I'm not going to be able to give you that much advice because I am pretty ignorant on the subject of asexuality. I understand what it means, but I don't know all the ins and outs and the nuances about it. So maybe people that are watching this and are more knowledgeable on the subject can help me in the comment section. And I'm just going to go back to one point. When OP tried to hold her hand and she turned in disgust. Now this could just be my ignorance talking like I said, but if you love somebody, even if you may be asexual, you wouldn't turn yourself in disgust, right? Especially after a 2-year-long relationship where there has been physical contact and sex. In any other situation, I would say that that means that she doesn't love you, OP, and she's lying to you. But in this case, I can't be sure. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section what your opinion is, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Mike Wraith says, yes, it is perfectly fine to break up with someone over such a huge incompatibility. I sure as hell wouldn't be able to stay in a relationship with someone I wasn't allowed to so much as hold hands with. Might as well just be roommates at that point. And OP responds, quote, I sure as hell wouldn't be able to stay in a relationship with someone I wasn't allowed to do so much as hold hands with. Might as well just be roommates at that point. End quote. She doesn't even pay rent, so it's not like being roommates is a viable option. DJ Longsnake says, this relationship is dead. No physical touching? Friend texting you to cuss you out? Nope, the F out. When you kick her out and she asks where she's gonna go, you can tell her, that's why God gave you feet, so you can get to steppin'. Drikius says, I don't often comment here, but I wanted to throw in my 2 cents as an asexual. What she's doing isn't because she's asexual. That's not what asexuality is. Yes, I know there is a scale, I get that. But generally, asexuality has to deal with just sex, or any part of it. We don't have any desire for it. Many of us would be a-okay never having it again. At least, that's my experience. I say this because she has pushed this to every aspect of your relationship. Holding hands, cuddling, everything. That's not her asexuality. It just sounds like she's just generally not interested in you and is using her sexuality as an excuse she can fall back on. Overall, it doesn't seem as though this relationship isn't going to work. As other people have said, you're just not compatible. Additional information from OP's comments. When I was looking into asexuality, I stumbled upon aromantics. Most of her current behavior does not match up, but she is fine with hugging her best friend and her family members. It's just me who is in the no-touch zone. We are best friends, kinda. I'm her go-to person if she needs to talk to someone, and same for me. Also, she is verbally very affectionate, if you know what I mean. I get I love yous all the time. We live together just fine, with no problems apart from the obvious. The thing is, the past 2 years have been pure bliss. She catered to my every need. She never initiated anything, but I was satisfied with what we had. I was very happy. I guessed the past 2 years are what's holding me back because they were so damn good. Short update. She is now home. It's around 9 PM over here. And after she settles down, I'm going to tell her that we need to break up because I cannot tolerate it anymore and that she needs to move out. Okay, so now my spidey sense is tingling. With that information, particularly from the third commenter, and the fact that she lives there rent-free, I don't know, something weird's going on. Anyways, let's move on with the first update to see what happened next. So, coming to the current events, this is what transpired on the day of the breakup. I said, Sarah, fake name, I'm sorry, but this cannot work anymore. Your assumptions of what a relationship should be are vastly different from what I want. You cannot just force me to adapt to this sudden unforeseen coldness and inability to be intimate. I honestly actually tried. I cannot anymore. I'm done, especially after yesterday's fiasco. Do you even consider the fact that I have feelings? Long pause. You have been lying to me for a long time now. If this is the real you, this is not the person I fell in love with. I'll help you find a new place and you can move whenever you find it convenient or are ready to do so. And till then, I'll sleep on the couch. I'm sorry. She just had a breakdown. She started bawling. I didn't know what to do. It's not like I could reassure her physically or anything. She was saying sorry and covering her face. I stood up and left the room, went to the balcony. I was in tears too. She came in and hugged me. I pried her away. She then begged me to hear her part, so we started talking. This is actually the most honest conversation we've ever had. So she was brought up in an uber-religious background. Her parents would not do anything unless they had the consent of the family priest. She is a Hindu. They follow tons and tons of rules. They have always made it seem like sex is a horrible thing to do, and it is very impure. They would not allow her to enter the kitchen or eat with family during her periods. So, since she grew up like that, it is ingrained in her mind that sex is inherently a sin, and it is a disgusting thing. She has always been repulsed by sex and realized that she is asexual when she was 15. Whenever she was intimate with me, she felt dirty and impure just because she enjoyed the sensation. Every time I touched her, she felt like she is sinning by being with a man. She told me about her sexuality because she could not deal with the guilt anymore, and that was too late because she thought she'd grow out of it. She has always felt this and only engaged in it with me because I enjoyed it. Although she has disowned her parents and is no longer a Hindu, she seems to have internalized the values and disgust related to sex. She apologized 100 times and she said that she has no justification for acting the way she did in the park. She told me that she loves me and even told me that she wants to marry me, and desperately wants it to work. As for her comment on God gave me hands, again, she agreed that it was wrong and apologized. She then just laid down on my lap and just cried. I got carried away and tried to kiss her, to no avail. I then told her that she needs to see a therapist and needs to fix this if she wants it to work. Her bias against sex is not her fault after all. She agreed to do it. We were also planning for couples therapy. I told her that if it doesn't work, then it is the end of us. Also, I asked her to pay all the bills, Wi-Fi, electricity, insurance, premiums, and so on, to which she agreed. Then, yesterday, she was acting still the same, but I could see that she was trying. I could see some improvement, but a few Redditors suggested that she might be cheating on me. I never thought that this would be true because I trusted her. I still had doubts, so I checked her phone when she went for a bath. Very petty, I know. Her recent chat was with her best friend, and I opened it. As it turns out, she really doesn't love me or even likes me. In her words, I'm tolerable. She was just putting up with me because A, she got a nice place to live, better than living with strangers close to her work. B, she had a facade for society to hide her sexuality. And C, it's convenient. She could never find anyone as malleable as me apparently. Also, she doesn't plan on changing or even trying to change. The original topic of the conversation was that they would hang out during the appointment with the therapist she had booked tomorrow. I've never felt this betrayed in my life, nor have I hated a person so much. It was like a switch flipped the moment I read the chat. Whatever affection I had for her changed to anger and resentment. I texted her best friend from Sarah's phone saying that Sarah is homeless now. I kicked her out the moment she got out of the bath and packed her things. I think she moved in with her parents. Opie's edit. A lot of commentators are asking about her reaction. She was actually dazed and confused because the last thing she expected of me was to snoop on her. I am a very trusting person, never again, and I have never ever been suspicious of her. I showed her the texts, asked her to pack her things and leave. She tried to talk to me, but I simply ignored her. I sent myself some screenshots so that I could look at them in case I ever felt like patching up. I have had some good times with her. And in her defense, her parents and upbringing were really what she described it as being. She might have lost her conscience on the way, but I don't think there is any better punishment than living with her parents again. They are insufferable, believe me. Edit 2. So, she texted me from a new number. She might have stumbled upon this post somehow. What the F? How dare you? Why did you post this crap on Reddit? This is personal stuff. I'll effing kill you. Who this? Sarah, you mother effer! Oh, please never talk to me ever again. I'll post whatever I want, wherever I want. Whatever I've mentioned in the post is completely true. You know that. You know that over 3,000 people also think that you're human garbage. Ciao. Oh wow, that update took a really weird turn there in the middle. She was using him for a free ride because he is just tolerable. Now, if you thought that update was kind of a roller coaster, well then stick with me, because the final one that was 2 months after the one that we just read, yikes. So let's move on with that. Hello r/relationships. I have posted here earlier and got a ton of advice on what to do. Thank you all. When I thought that it was the end of all of it and that I could just put all this behind me and move on, I was wrong. The drama never ends. Sorry for rambling, but my hands are trembling with anger or resentment right now. The gist of what happened. Girlfriend, Sarah, 22 female of 2 years, confesses to me, 23 male, that she is asexual. I try as much as I could to cope and adjust, but she not only withheld sex, but any form of physical affection, which included hugs or holding hands. At one point, she was visibly disgusted when I tried to hold her hand, and I decided to break up with her. As per advice given by Redditors. I had a heart-to-heart with her, then she broke down and tried to manipulate me, and I was convinced. I check her phone, again, as per advice given by Redditors. It never crossed my mind that she could be cheating. As it turns out, she was just using me for my apartment and other things. I kicked her out immediately and she moved in with her parents. The follow-up. While I was shocked and pretty much numb for a week or so, I decided to just put this behind me and move on. My friends helped me a lot. I got more involved at work, took up a few projects of my own, and my friends never let me be alone for most of the time. My brother did call me soon after, but he mostly inquired about Sarah. This struck me as odd, but I didn't bother. Last week, I was going through some of the stuff she left and never bothered coming back for. Mostly mundane stuff like makeup, a few notebooks, and my old iPhone. She had borrowed it when she dropped her phone in the toilet. I switched it on, and although it had a cracked screen, it worked. The password was easy to crack, her late dog's birthday. It had a prepaid SIM card in it, and I saw the call records, and all of the calls and texts were to my brother. And all of them were when I went to work. I went through the gallery, and all it had were pictures of them together or pictures of him. They are dated from around 5 months ago. I honestly felt sick to my stomach. She had not only been using me, but also cheating on me with my bloody brother. She found no one else but my brother. And him? While we are not particularly close right now, I never expected this. He is my blood. So I call my mother and tell her what was going on. And she tells me that she knew, but was too afraid to tell me because she feared it would hurt me. Well, guess what? This hurts more. Way more. I was basically yelling at her and asked her how long had she known. She tells me that ever since she moved in with him 2 weeks ago. She told me that she stopped talking to him and she is thinking of cutting him out of the will. But I know my mother. She will eventually start talking to him and accept him and her. He lives in another state and is in college right now. When my father passed away, he left both of us an apartment each, and my mother got our old house and everything else. He lives in the apartment our father gave him. We just kind of drifted apart after he went to college, but I did introduce him to Sarah during a family function. Also, this is his first girlfriend. He was a major nerd in school and never really talked to girls or anyone else for that matter. This is the last thing I expected of him. He is jobless, and my mother gives him a stipend every month. My brother can't live without his stipend. I have chimed in several times, and I even got him a car. Now, even though he did this to me, I don't want to jeopardize his future. So, since it is still my car, it is in my name, I will take it back, and I will absolutely cut ties with him, but I won't go nuclear. I don't know how long this relationship will last, but at least his brother won't stab him in the back. As for my mother, she cannot afford to have me cut ties with her. She needs me. I guess she'll have to choose between him or me. Oh wow, so she moved from one brother to the other. This Sarah lady sucks so much. Good for you, OP, for cutting ties with all of it. At least now you know everything. So OP, all the best in the future and take care. Thanks for sharing. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.